Hey, hello there, cats and kittens. This is Nuttier than squirrel shit at a Kanye West concert. This is your man, the OG Big Cat Lad. And we have a new person here.
I don't know if I'm a new person and all, but this is the unqualified gamer, aka Weeaboo Ramen.
And you gotta get down with this groove, baby. Yeah.
Wasn't sure if you were having a Caesar there or not, though, but I'm pretty sure he's okay.
Oh, by the way, I have to give a shout out today because it's somebody's birthday today. It is the piece of shit himself, the cool cat lad, the creator of the Alabama Hot Pocket.
wait, the Alabama Hot Pocket. Wait.
Alex, piece of shit, Kansas City Mac. Happy birthday to you, brother. You still owe me $50 back in the day when we had that fish fry.
Hey, birthday.
I don't know what's so funny.
I don't even know what an Alabama Hot Pocket. What's an Alabama?
That's something that you gotta look up, brother. Google it.
I need to Google that.
Now, the Shenanigator J is on vacation. Hopefully, he's on permanent vacation because I'm taking over. I'm Big Cat Lad. I am 6'9", weigh 345 pounds, and I cover the ground I walks on.
It sounds very unhealthy there. Sounds extremely unhealthy.
Listen here. Whoever your name is, what is it? Unqualified?
Yeah, the unqualified gamer.
Well, whatever your name is, recognize an OG when the OG is present in front of you.
I mean, I never heard of you before. It's the first time you even heard about a big cat and a lad. Like, sounds like a feline pedophilia ring.
Hey man, you know what? I'm out of here. I don't have to deal with this shit. I'm out of here.
Wait.
I'm splitting, Jack.
Wait,
I ain't got time for you turkeys.
The hell? So I'm supposed to do this all by myself? Supposed to just do the Absolute Zero podcast just solo? The hell?
Hey, yo,
What the? Hey.
Yo,
bro.
Just saw OG Cat Lad walk right by. It seemed kind of pissed, man. What the hell you doing?
Shit, I guess I quote
man,
unquote
he's one of the
disrespected
OGs, man. I respect the hell out of him. But anyway, man, I don't know what the hell was he in here?
He was in there.
Did he do anything?
I mean, he wished
Like
Alex
this
a
mic
happy
is set
birthday.
up. I hope he didn't get on this microphone and say anything because the number one rule for the OGs. Oh, by the way, what's up, family? This is Yo King, the Shenanigator King J, and my tag team partner.
Unqualified gamer, Weeaboo Ramen.
Yeah, we had to. I'm sorry, I was running a little late coming in here, but
I mean, I saw. Yeah, I saw.
the
I saw
number
Cat
one
Lad
rule
out
is
there.
to never let OG Cat Lad on the mic.
Well, he was
never let him speak.
All right,
so
well,
I hopefully when I play this back, I hope that he won't be speaking on here.
Well, I mean, he said a few things, but it wasn't out of. I would say out of character. I wouldn't say.
All right, that's all good. That's all good.
overall.
Well, anyway, while we're at it, I would like to say happy birthday to our family, our cousin, Alex Kansas City Mac.
Happy birthday, brother.
That's
Happy
right.
birthday.
You are a piece of shit.
Is he 40 now,
As
right?
Everybody, I don't know how old he is. He's a piece of shit. That's all I know. And he really doesn't deserve this. But I am making an exception. And because you're family and we love you, happy birthday, cuzzo.
Happy birthday.
With that being said, as you can see, man, there's been a lot of craziness going on over the last couple of weeks, man. You got people getting evicted. You got people just losing damn mind. You got the money. Kanye West is
Yo,
losing
Kanye West.
his mind.
Well, hasn't he already lost his mind?
Well, he's already done it. Yeah, but it's just.
He's just gotten door further deep in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. It is going way deep, man. But with that being said, what do you think about that whole Kanye West thing, about him running for president in the beginning, and then he turned around and then it's just completely. I think Kim Kardashian has completely like shut him down.
I saw that.
I think he's been completely shut down.
I saw that video of Kim breaking down in the car, and they was in a Wendy's drive-through when it happened. But they was having like a nice. She was having, I should say, a nice mental breakdown, but I would say it was pretty much like a mental breakdown. Looked like she was waving her arms and stuff like that, and Kanye was just sitting. He was just sitting there, and then I guess he saw the camera. They saw the camera guy like film it. It was. I saw it on Twitter, and I just laughed because it's like, well, first of all, they're celebrities. I really don't give a shit. Like, well,
my thing is, how come every bad thing happens in a Wendy's parking lot?
First of all, I'm trying to figure out why the hell Kanye and Kim Kardashian is in a Wendy's parking lot in the drive-thru.
Hey, you know what? I wish I had the answer to that, and I don't.
I mean, because like,
obviously he is suffering from some sort of mental illness. And by the way, this is for the record. We are not making fun of mental illness here because it's a big thing. Matter of fact, we're going to send a plug out to BetterHelp.com. If you really need to address some things, you're going through some things, and we all are. This is tough times, man. Nobody's getting paid like they should. Nobody's working like they should. And we're possibly headed into, and we're already into, but we're heading into the worst presidential election in the history of all of presidential elections. So there's a lot to process in here, and BetterHelp.com is the way to do it for professional counseling with licensed therapists. If you don't know what BetterHelp is an online portal that provides direct-to-consumer access to behavioral health services. The online counseling and therapy sessions are provided through web-based interaction as well as phone and text communication. Due to COVID situation still out there, a lot of these doctors' offices don't really want to meet. So this is a perfect way that you can actually get the help that you need, without having to compromise your health or anybody else's. So, in all seriousness, though, BetterHelp.com, because, your problems should be heard and you are loved, whether you believe it or not, and there's people out there that want to see you get better. And
remember, people, you matter in a sense of, metaphorically and physically, you matter.
Yeah.
That's why I like saying that's my go-to phrase. You matter, because they really do. You might feel like you're alone, and even when you're around people, sometimes you feel alone. Sometimes I get that way. Sometimes I really do get that way. In fact, it's quite funny because I was reading this webtoon called Brimstones and Roses, and the current story right now in that they're definitely tackling. It's like they're tackling a mental issue when dealing with anxiety, depression, and on top of that, betrayal. Or it's not sort of betrayal, but it's like what somebody can deem as betrayal. And like I said, this story is actually pretty interesting, and the way how the character is going through her trials, man. It's very realistic. It's very, very realistic. It's a very good eye opener, especially if you're not really if you never really dealt with it, or you never been around somebody who deal with anxiety and depression. Like, this is a cool way to actually read into it and kind of like get a synopsis on what's going through their mind.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, BetterHelp.com. give it a try. It's definitely worth it. But what's going on in the city today, man? Like with this trash situation, what is going on? Like Philly is really, is really getting out of hand, man, with this trash thing. It's beginning to be called Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
And with the hot weather and then the trash, like, look,
Yeah.
in my garage, there's like a shit ton of flies that is everywhere right now. It's a
Yeah,
shit
and
ton
that's
of-
due to all the trash.
in my garage, man, and it's like, and it's crazy, and like I said, it's a lot of people are calling out for whatever reason. I think the thing is that a lot of them, are getting sick, and a lot of them are worried about having safe protocols, health protocols and stuff like that. So, according to CBS 3 Philly News, the Philadelphia Streets Department says delays expected in trash collection despite normal pickup resuming Monday. So normal pickup is supposed to resume tomorrow, supposedly. Here is some of the quotes. It says it's kind of a disaster because the recycling has been out for at least 2 weeks now, and recycling has.
Now there's that.
And it keeps blowing down the street, so I have been collecting it and trying to make sure it doesn't become a huge mess, says a resident in Philadelphia. So, and like I said, I will give the city credit. They are, in the process of hiring hundreds of temp workers in addition to the trash collection to help with this. But this is becoming like New York City 1970s, man. Or was it 1970s?
Yeah, it was like the 70s, 69.
I mean, it hasn't got that big. It hasn't got that big yet. But
Nah.
But if you start seeing 6-foot walls of trash out there, but I've driven down some streets that was just horrendous, man.
Yeah.
It's like, and also another thing too. This is all segued in. When you're going out into the parks and the creeks and stuff like that, if I can find a news thing for that out in Pennypack Park, please clean up after yourself.
Please do.
I mean, there were people out there in the park. It's like going down in Cobb's Creek and then thinking like it's the beach.
Yeah.
They were out there in the water with grills in the water
Like
itself.
in the creek.
In the creek with tables and chairs in the water. Yo, it looked like the beach.
Yeah.
It was that many people. And for them to just trash it like that.
Yo, they should have trashed it. It was.
When I saw the pictures that I saw, what I saw down there, just the bags of not even trash, just leaving trays of food out in the open.
Yeah.
And this is why they shut it down. I don't think they shut it down for any other type of reason. They shut it down because we have to be able to take care of things ourselves. Yeah. Let's be responsible adults.
If you're going
And clean
anywhere,
up after ourselves.
yeah, just clean up after yourselves.
It's outside, I get it. It's outside,
Yeah.
and everybody can social distance enough outside in an open space. But let's clean up after ourselves, people. Please.
yeah,
That just makes it so much worse.
it do. It makes it, and it just doesn't look like neat when you don't clean up after yourselves. Especially when you go somewhere that's not really your home. You just go someplace else to other people's homes.
Yeah.
And you just trash their area. Like, come on now. Like, I guarantee if somebody was to make camp across the street from where you live on a public place and just trash that whole neighborhood, I guarantee you wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
Come on, let's have some decency.
Yeah.
Let's have some still decency, man. Let's go ahead and have a little bit of empathy for other people. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Now we have a few things that's going on right now, that you might have noticed. What do you think, unqualified, what do you think of this coin shortage? Now, all of a sudden, if you don't know, if you haven't known yet, pretty much a lot of stores across the country are claiming to have a coin shortage. So they're either asking for coins or they're not even taking cash altogether. Now, the conspiracy is, this is a conspiracy, this is not what I think. The conspiracy is that this government or whatever is pushing for a cashless society. And this cashless society is mostly driven to control certain things. So what is your thoughts about what were your thoughts when you first saw like the signs up?
All right. Well, my first,
I thought it was weird. No, go ahead.
Yeah, my first thought, I really didn't think nothing of it because normally I don't really use cash anyway. But it really got me thinking because during the same time when he had the coin shortage, there's the ammunition shortage that's happening. And what I've heard, I read a few articles about, like this, it's all is due to COVID when it comes to the mining of the materials that are making the coins and the bullets or the ammunition. And there's not enough material, or there's not enough miners to mine the materials to support the demand of these products shipping out. There's a shortage on everything when it comes to these type of things. Lithium batteries is actually being affected by this. A lot of computer parts is being affected by this, not just only through the materials, but of course through the shipment of like China and all that kind of stuff like that. So all this does definitely come to play when it comes to the mining of natural resources, copper ores, lithium ores, all that kind of stuff like that. So I think that does play a heavy role to it, but also I do believe in the tinfoil hat theory of, I honestly do believe it. They want us to go into a cashless society. I mean, it's already started. Majority of us, especially in our generation, don't use cash. Like, shenanigator, like, let me tell you, how much cash do you hold in your person right now? In your wallet right now, how much cash do you hold?
Well, normally, I normally, my rule of thumb is I normally hold about maybe at least $20 in cash. That's it. But I hardly use it. I mostly use my card. But there's exceptions where we do use cash, especially at some of these food spots and stuff like that. That's good, really good, but they just don't take cards.
Well, so see, the thing about it is, the other day I went to this food truck, the halal food truck. Where you get the lamb over rice or the chicken over rice, and they're cash only. But recently I went there like sometime last week, and they had a sign saying they take cash, but they also take Cash App and Venmo. So now, like I said, cashless society. Like, yeah, they take cash.
Yeah, the cash
but now
is slowly,
it is slowly diminishing. Now, like I said, I'm already used to it, and I'm already kind of accepted the fact that yes, we already been headed towards the cashless society. I mean, let's be real here. Our physical dollar bill is not tied to anything. Mm-hmm. It's not tied to gold. It's not tied to anything. Not tied to silver. It's just It's just what it is. So, like, with that being said, does it really make a difference if we do move on to a cashless society or if we don't move into a cashless society?
It might make a difference, only because it just gives one more idea of tracking. I know people think like they're tracking everything you do regardless anyway, but I think it just takes the freedom of money and then just putting on a digital currency. Like, here, you don't get actual money. Here's just a digit, and then who's ever in control of those digits can manipulate it at any point in time if they choose to just have a so-called glitch in the system and completely shut down. Nobody has any so-called money.
That is true. I mean, like I said, that can happen as well. But the physical aspect of money, though, what is the worth value of it? Because at any point in any day, it can just be like, you know what? This has no value to it. It has nothing.
Well, yeah, but
So, like, what's
eventually what's going to happen is because people put value into it. Eventually, what's going to if it does reach that point, I'm not saying that it will. If it does reach that point, and this is just my theory. This is not what I technically believe. This is just my theory on what could happen. And if they turn around and they do push this digital currency, and they do, I think that there'll be another physical currency that the people themselves will hold value to, not necessarily paper money. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that currency could be. Yeah. But I think that there will be a physical currency if it does happen, and paper money as we know it becomes obsolete. Human beings has a great ability to adapt to situations, and they will create a physical currency that best suits them, that everybody can see value to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. We are very adaptive creatures, but at the same time, it's like we do, as a whole, get manipulated in ways to where, we kind of bend to the will of whoever is in control. Prime example. You know how the housing market is. The housing market, any type of market.
That's another thing we're about to get into right now, though. But like I said, it all comes into the thing. It all goes into this topic that we're getting into. It's not necessarily a topic. We kind of just flow through things, but it seems like where it's going, it seems like everybody's panicking. Like you said, the ATMs are out of money.
Yeah.
Everybody's running to the ATM, and the whole thing, and it's panic buying.
Yeah.
The ammunition, because people are panic buying. The guns, you can't buy a gun legally. I'm not saying illegal is the right way, because it's not. But if you wanted to go, you have to you go to any gun shop, you can't. You can go online, you can't find any. They're all sold out. You go to gun shows, like the one we went to this past last weekend, and they were extremely overpriced. They're price gouging, and people are buying because they are panic buying. Now, every now and then you might get a steal on one,
or you might get something like really reasonable.
But from what I saw and what I was comparing to the market value of what it would be sold to what people were selling, it was extremely overpriced, and that's all through panic buying, and that goes into what we're about to go in next. The housing crisis is here. As the pandemic takes its toll, renters face eviction even as buyers are bidding higher. Now you can physically, we have actual evidence of this, of firsthand stories of people bidding higher, way more higher than normal, on less than subpar property. It's panic buying. We went to a bike sale last week. Yeah. Not going to name the bike shop itself, because I bet I'm pretty sure they're fine people there. But the bikes that they were selling were as is. It was as is, and they let you know.
And my thing
was all as is.
I'm not, like you said, with this case, like you said, I'm not blaming the people selling. This is not the fault of the people selling. This is mostly the fault of just people who have the money but don't know how to buy. But go ahead and continue, because I got have my thoughts on why this is like this.
But what happened was we went to the bike sale. All the bikes there for sale were as is, and they were extremely overpriced. And the people that were there, they were willing. Like, I saw one bike, it was a Trek. Now, Trek is top of the line. You're going to pay top dollar. But there were some things that needed to be done with the bike, as far as like brakes, seating, There was something with the chain or one of the gears as well, and the pedals, and they wanted $500 for it as is. And I was like, I refuse to do it. And then the guy right behind me, bought it right out. Didn't even get on it. Never even tested it. Never even took it off of the rack to look at it, see if it was the right height or anything. He just flat out said, "Okay, I got it. I want it." And it was more so because he was afraid that somebody behind him was going to look at it and get it. Without any type of review, any type of checking to make sure that thing could have fell apart in his hands as he bought it. And he just spent $5, just $500 on it just because he could. Now, he has every right to do that. But my thing is, I think like the whole era of barter and dealing, haggling, if you will, it's gone. It's gone because you have a new generation of people that's going to come up here, and they don't have those skills, mainly because they're afraid of any sort of confrontation that they have in their head that's going to happen. Or if I go ahead and I try to barter with this guy, he's going to tell me to get the hell out of my shop. It's like, no, bartering is one of the oldest. I don't want to say tricks because it's not a trick. It's one of the oldest techniques of buying.
Yeah.
But like I said, and this goes with the housing market too. Mm-hmm. And it's all about panic buying. So, unqualified, what are you said you want to talk about it, your views on all of this stuff, like this whole panic buy pandemic. Let's call it what it is. It's a panic buy pandemic.
Well, I feel like this panic buy pandemic, it started way before we were born, and it has. This has been implemented with the generation that is our parents, but started with our grandparents. It started, like I said, it started near the tail end of our grandparents, but it really implemented within our parents' era. But it slowly trickled down. Just first started with remedial things, and then now it winds up into more bigger, prosperous things. So we're going to start off with this. Our grandparents, when going to the grocery store, they will barter and trade. The things that they couldn't get through money, they will go through a barter and trade. Hey, I need 2 cartons of eggs, but within that carton of eggs, I will do this, or I will do that, or I will trade this upon, like trade a bag of rice or whatever like that. I'm just speaking though, but there was a barter and trade when you go in the grocery stores back in that era. That started to weed out when you start getting stores like, I'm just naming stores. I'm not sure if they was around back then or not. But I'm just going to start naming some stores like Acme or like, Gennardi's or all that, those grocery, super grocery stores. Plus, when you go into those stores, our parents would go into those stores and they say, I want to buy a 2-pound steak. The 2-pound steak already have a set price, which you cannot haggle. There is no bartering. There is no trading within those stores. And guess what happened? They just bought it. Now, it wasn't as serious because you're just going to the store just buying your regular groceries, but that's where it starts. It starts with that. Just like how back in the day when you bought a TV, you didn't buy the face value of the television set or the record set or any type of entertainment set. You actually had to barter with that entertainment set. You wasn't going to pay $600 for the top of the line color television set. You're going to barter and try to get that price down to a level where you feel what it's worth. You had the MSRP, which is basically, this is the suggested retail price. That's all the MSRP is. It's just a suggested retail price where you shouldn't pay over this price, basically. But doesn't mean you have to pay that exact price. You should be able to haggle down that price lower than the MSRP because the shops is getting it for less anyway in bulk. They're getting it less anyway for bulk. So you should be able to pay less in in the single individual product. But see, over the time, It wasn't as powerful as buying a car or buying a house. You can still haggle a car, you can still haggle a house. But eventually, guess what? Color TVs came with the flat screen television sets, and flat screen television sets, you go to Best Buy to buy it. Guess what? There was no more haggling that flat screen television set. You're going to pay $1,200 for that television set. If you don't have $1,200 for that television set, guess what? You're not getting that television set. And if you even try to haggle, you're basically, society will deem you as you're just being a cheap or you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
So we are now trained to not to haggle, which basically now our generation, the people who have money, not the ones who don't have money, but the people who have money now got to the point to where if you just buy a car, as long as you don't pay over the sticker price, you're fine.
When the number one rule used to be is
Never pay the sticker price. Exactly. So like now you have places like Carvana, like Carvana, the vending machine of motor vehicles. And you'll see, like I said, if you live in Philadelphia, you'll see the Carvana Tower in Port Richmond.
Yeah.
In Fishtown. You'll see it right on 95. And basically they're saying, you can't buy a car cheaper than in Carvana, and it's the safest way. You don't have to deal with any type of tricky car dealers. You know, like you don't have to deal with them. You just go through an online thing. You know, you look up the car that you want. Oh, I can afford this. I can afford these monthly payments. You go in and get your big ass coin and then just put it into the vending machine and watch your car do some little trick just to be right in front of you, and you drive off on your new or your used whatever vehicle. You know, there's no more fight because we have taught the society that we live in today have taught us not to haggle. If you haggle, you are deemed as a Karen or as a Kevin, and you're going to be deemed as an asshole. If you do, a cheap asshole who don't want to spend money. People get annoyed when somebody actually tries to, not even tries to, but just try to say, is there a way that I can get something extra for this? Now, there's a way, like I said, now there are people who are just plain assholes that will just they'll go beyond the thing just to go beyond the thing. But in general, though, there's nothing wrong with asking for, you know, a slightly better deal than something. Shouldn't have to shame everybody that you go across or give somebody a side eye just because they say, damn, this colored television set is $1,200. Well, why the fuck I pay $1,200 for this television set? Well, what's the difference between this one and this one? Well, how about this? Let me have that one for about $700 then, or $800 or $900. We'll side eye that person. I mean, even like I said, when I was working at Target, I was side-eyed some people that was doing that, you know. And even I got caught up in the spell of just like, why don't you just like, look, it's the sticker price. You can't afford it, then don't buy it. But see, that's not the way how it should be, though.
Could it also be because there aren't enough small business appliance stores anymore? Whereas these big corporations are selling these big electronics that before, when you used to go to an independent or a small business appliance store where they were able to do it. See, now, and when people get mad at the employees are just what they are. They're employees. They're handcuffed completely by the situation of the corporation itself. So I agree with you. It's the corporations that did this, you know. And with this panic buying, it also puts people at risk of eviction. Millions of Americans are at risk of eviction. This has got to be the worst, and I don't know what it is. Like it says, it's estimated that 43 million Americans are at risk of eviction as relief programs and moratoriums expire. And quote, it is a nightmare. So if you haven't known, the moratorium on evictions and federally backed housing expired last week. So the moratorium covered more than 12 million households, or about 30% of all renters. But the total number of Americans possibly facing eviction is much, much higher. So now all renters are now subject to state laws and their patchwork of eviction policies that vary by state. Wow. And matter of fact, you have it's insane. It's insane. I believe that even in Jersey, as of today, I think more than 15,000 renters are facing evictions in Jersey, despite their governor's executive order moratorium. That's insane. That makes zero sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, like I said, this has got to be the worst time in American history.
Oh no, I agree.
The Pennsylvania Supreme Court tosses the challenge to eviction ban. So housing advocates express relief, landlords frustration, while a dissenting justice had harsh words for the majority. So pretty much responds, this is through NBC 10, the PA Supreme Court has closed eviction proceedings for the duration of the COVID-19 emergency. So the Pennsylvania is urging landlords not to evict. So even though they're urging them not to evict, what do you think about this, Unqualified? What do you think about this whole thing? And what do you think about it now? Like, look at it from both perspectives. Look at it from the renter's perspective, the rentees, or the renters, right? The renters, and then look at it from the owner's perspective, but also look at it from what it could be. From what do you think from both sides, if you can? So I want you to, what are your thoughts on it from both sides of it, and future connotations of what this could be if they really would evict 43 million Americans throughout this country is going to be it's going to be homeless. That's got to hit a record high somewhere.
Well, first of all, I would say this. I'm going to go with the future statement first. If they were to evict that many people in America, that would just be devastating, and you're just basically asking for a straight up revolution.
You're asking for an apocalypse.
You're asking for the downfall of the American society. If they're willing to do, if they're going to be willing to do this. First of all, like I said, people have a tendency. We're strong. People in general are very strong. But we do have our breaking points. And when we have our breaking points, it is nearly impossible to control a mass amount of people who's basically just want to survive and just want to live. You know? Looking at it from a landlord perspective, I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for them because they're stuck in a position where it's just like you really don't want to evict them, but at the same time, they still have to do what they have to do as landlords to fix their thing. Now, not excusing shitty landlords, but there's some really good landlords out there. And there's some really good landlords that won't just straight up evict their can't think of the word. The residents, tenants. Yeah, they wouldn't just evict their tenants, especially if they have good background. They were always on time. They always did certain things. I don't think they will just immediately just up jump and just do something like that. But as far as like the tenants goes, my heart 100%, regardless if you're a shitty tenant or a good tenant, my heart still goes out to you because you still got to have a roof over your head. I don't care what type of person you are, you still deserve to have a roof over your head. You shouldn't be thrown out and just live amongst like whatever. There should have been some type of play when it comes to this thing. 2020 should have been the year. 2020 is way how this thing going with the pandemic and everything like that is going. Nobody should be being evicted at all, period. Nobody really should be evicted. There should be no outstanding bills, all the kind of stuff like that. Shut down power, electricity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
None of that should be a thing for this year, especially with the pandemic. I mean, come on now. Like, people are not working, job security is really at its lowest right now because it's like you don't know when at any time, at any point you can sit there. This is the year where people will say it can't get any worse, and then it gets worse. This is literally the year of Jumanji. Like everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and it just and like I said, we're still staying afloat. We're still continuing doing trying to be good American, trying to be good people, trying to live. And thing about it is everything that our government is trying to, everything that our government is doing is going against us as a whole. It's going straight up against us, and it makes it harder, and it makes it feel like that. They want us to just say, fuck it, and bear arms, and then go overthrow something.
Yeah, but like I said, we can do a whole new episode on that about the whole presidential election thing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, like you said, with 43 million people,
but that's a lot,
possibly.
Yeah,
and that's projected.
That's
43
projected.
million can be evicted. At the same time, they want to open up schools. So you got families. And this is going into my next thing. You have families out there that could be evicted and homeless, and then you want your child, or they want their children to go back to school, to return to school. We're only about a month away for schools returning. Mm-hmm. A month away for schools are returning. Now, some schools, especially here in Philly, they have committed to fully 100% online learning until I think at least November, the end of November. If I'm not mistaken, either the end of October or the end of, more so I think the end of November, I'm sure. But other places and states have already opened. Here's one thing by the New York Times where on the first day of school, as a school reopens and coronavirus creeps right in. Here we go. It says it's a student at Greenville Center Junior High School in Indiana tested positive for coronavirus this past Thursday, the first day of school. And then you have Trump turn around and say, or any of his constituents, and turn around and back this shit up and say, oh, kids don't get it. When it's been clear that kids can transmit COVID-19 just like adults. There was a picture online, and they used chairs, about 30 chairs, and they used in an outdoor space. And it did the correct 6 feet apart. It took up almost a third of the field. And the question was, you tell me a classroom that's the size of this, and you tell me that you were going to fit 30 kids in a classroom, and you're going to put up some bullshit plastic guard apparatus around each desk, where you had some states, it's completely irresponsible, man. There's no way with this. And then they talk about sports, youth sports. There's no way youth sports. In my case, there's no way youth sports can be played. You can't go by what the pros do, because those pros, especially NBA, I'm using NBA as an example, are living in a bubble, a metaphorical or physical bubble on how they got things on. And that's their job. They're professional athletes. They don't have to go to class every day. Kids have to come back home. And then what if one of the kids in the classroom tests positive? What if the teacher tests positive? What if anybody in that school tests positive? Look at baseball. Within 2 days, 2 games of the season, an entire team is almost out. They almost canceled. They're about to cancel the season. they're trying to save face and say that they're not doing anything. They're going to roll with it, but that's because baseball completely fucked up. But to get back to the schools, I think that they should not be open. Continue. It sucks. I understand the important dynamic of physical learning in a physical classroom. I get that. But right now, we cannot do that. There has to be some sort of, you have to adapt. You have to adapt. And the reality is, a lot of these schools, we've been out of school since February. You mean to tell me, and I understand that it's a very fluid situation. COVID's a very fluid situation. It changes on a minute by minute, hour by hour basis. But you mean to tell me a lot of these schools have been out since February and not one time have they came up with any type of contingency plan? There are school districts out there right now that has no plan, that I've emailed and said, hey, what about this? What about COVID? Oh, we haven't heard anything yet. We're waiting. You have like less than a month. What are you talking about? You're waiting. You guys have been out since February, and you guys haven't came out with any type of plan. You mean to tell me that? Just say that you're not going to have physical school. You're just doing all online learning as of, further notice. Because the reality is, I don't think the teachers want any type of physical. Now the Philadelphia Archdiocese has made a statement and said that they are going to have school, like physical in-class learning. Now, I don't know if that changed or not, but what do you think, Unqualified, about that?
I think they're out of their mind, to be honest. I think it's very selfish to even put kids at risk for this. This is real. COVID-19 is real. It is not a hoax. It's not something that politicians came up with because of the election. It's
a public health thing.
It's a public health. This is a worldwide thing.
It's a public health issue that they turned political.
Yeah.
But like I said, it says right here, the Archdiocese of Philadelphia outlines plan to reopen schools in September. I don't think that this is a good idea.
Well, like I said, but this is also another case of how far are you willing to go. If you really, like you said, my thing is like this. I can't fathom if I have a child. I couldn't send them to physical school.
Well, like I said, it's how many, and then, like I said, there's lots of things that's going on right here where the big question is internet access. Well, like I said, you have to. The people, I think most people out here are upset or mad at the wrong people.
Yeah.
About this. Don't get mad at the parent for not wanting to send their kid to school or to ask a question, which we're not allowed to do apparently. We're not allowed to ask questions about, hey, I don't have adequate internet, or I don't have internet at all because I'm not working and I can't afford it. So that parent gets villainized. Well, that's your fault. That's your problem. No. You have 2 buildings down in Center City that's been built at the cost of Philadelphia taxpayers. Not going to say the name. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. They can give free internet access to all students that need it.
Yeah.
They're able to do it.
If you're on record in a public,
we have to
school,
stop getting mad at the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
We got us. That's another thing too. We have to stop getting mad at people for
something they can't control.
For something they can't control and using benefits that is there for that very reason.
Yeah. Like, come on now.
You know, the $600, the extra $600 has been stopped this week, and it's been cut to $200. And I've been reading. I read a lot of things out there. I read the comments, and there's a lot of people that's mad at the people who were getting it. Oh, good for them. Good for them. They need to get back and go to work. I was like,
but like they have control of whether they go back to work or not, though.
But yet, it's just like the number one rule, and it's unwritten rules out here. And the one rule that I've grown up learning or was taught was never count anybody else's money. I don't count anybody else's money because I have no idea what you need to do with your money. So why should that bother me?
Uh-huh.
If the program is out there to be used for that very reason, then I have no problem with it. If the people have 600, all they're going to do is go out there and live their best life or whatever, then so be it. Some of these people, this is the most, actually, let's be real. This is the most beneficial. Some people have been beneficially, financially, and ever in a long time. Well, some people were getting $7,000. Let them. Those people probably never seen $7,000 in their life. Let those people live to their ceiling. Because the reality is those people do have a ceiling. Unfortunately, they do. And they know they have a ceiling. So if they know that if they want to save up their money, that's fine. If they wanted to go spend it on whatever they wanted to do before it's all cut away, then so be it. I am not in any way qualified, no pun intended, I'm not in any way qualified to tell people how they should spend it or to get mad or to be pissy because I don't have it. Because the reality is if those people that are mad were the ones that do get it, they wouldn't be complaining at all.
Pretty much. Just like how y'all wasn't complaining when y'all got your stimulus check for $1,200.
So let those people who had the $600, let them do it. Because the reality is some people do need it. A lot of people needed it. And you're getting mad at the wrong people because that's measly, shitty $600 can come and go in less than a day. But those people up there at Wall Street got billions of dollars each.
From our tax dollars.
They got collectively billions, but I would say at least a lot of them got six figures, heavy in the six figures each.
And that's on our dollar.
As a bailout.
Yeah.
The same reason why those people were getting 600. Again, we're getting mad at the wrong people. And if you worked, you got it. If you worked, you got it, so it's yours anyway. It takes out of your check if it's unemployment. You work for it. Well, what about the people that scam? The people that scam, they're going to get theirs eventually. Let them have it. See, people like we're worried about the wrong people. We're worried about the wrong thing.
You're worrying about thieves. You're worried about thieves and criminals, but thieves and criminals are going to get their way anyway, regardless of the situation.
They're going to find a way to get theirs anyway. That's just the way of the world, man. And then, like I said, and eventually they will get theirs. Whatever happens, will turn back on them eventually. And if not, who are we to judge? Like I said, I never count anybody's money. That's always been, a rule of mine type thing. So with that being said, make sure you guys can hit up that phone line, or with any type of questions you guys have that you would like us to answer. Anything, man, just call it. That number's right up top of that screen, 215-821-8609, or hit us up on that email. That email, 215-absolute0@gmail.com. Again, like I said, just hit us up for that anytime at all. So, like I said, but on a lighter note, I've been fixated on Karens and Kevins. Like I said, I'm not too, like, the Karen thing is fine. The Karen moniker, I'm fine with that. We got to change the Kevin thing, because I know a couple Kevins, and they don't act like that. That's the whole thing. But,
what name would you suggest?
I don't know. I mean, you had Kens.
I don't know too many Kens.
Yeah, like I said, for the male thing, that's a good question. That's another one. That's the question of the day, or question of the week.
What would be the name of
what would you name
a male,
a male Karen? A male Karen instead of Kevin. What would be a more suitable name? I know you did Karen because it's a K, and Karen and Kevin because it kind of flows together, but it just doesn't fit. Kevin just doesn't fit.
Kevin seems like a more relaxed type of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
I know a lot of Kevins, and they're all very chill. They act nothing like the male Karens. So what would be another nickname, another moniker that you would give for a male Karen?
I could probably go with Charles. Nah.
No, like I said, you can't. Like I said, that's a tough one. But anyway, man, I've been very fixated on that lately, and like I said, we have a lot of like Kevins and Karens and all that stuff going on. We actually have some audio, not video, of a Kevin going crazy, a so-called Kevin, a male Karen. But this one is actually pretty funny. If you haven't seen this one already, this guy is in Florida, and he's having a meltdown in a restaurant in Florida and assaulted a woman. I'm gonna play it first. I'm gonna play it first.
Call Donald Trump. He's gonna come get me out of prison. You not call Donald Trump right now. I'm a white supremacist. The Aryan nation will rule the world. Donald Trump, please. Come on, son. Donald Trump. You know Donald Trump. You don't know Donald Trump. I will butt fuck this bitch on the table right now. Here, please, somebody call Donald Trump. I'm not playing this
Yo, he slapped the hell out of her, yo. And that's not cool, but
That's just one.
oh wait, you slapped the chick?
Yeah, that was a chick. That's
I
what I'm talking about.
thought he slapped. I thought he slapped the dude.
I don't think that was a guy.
I thought he slapped the dude.
I don't think that was a guy. I'm sorry. I don't think that was a guy. But he slapped the hell out of her, man. And it's funny because these people are so some of these people are so racist that it's actually driving them insane.
Yeah.
Their racism is driving them crazy. Call Donald Trump. Call Donald Trump. The Aryan nation. Well, I was like, what the hell is he talking about, man? And people with tattoos.
People covered in tattoos gonna be my neighbors.
It's like, come on, dude. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, come on.
Here, grab a Snickers. You're hungry.
Yeah, right? Come on, man. Jeez.
Oh, thank. Oh my God, yo.
Like, yo, it's insane, yo. It's just crazy. But update is he has since been arrested. Obviously, and well, we have some. Here goes another funny one of a woman who. I'll tell the story of it later, but let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Venimos a tener un pacífico día y
Supuestamente
loca.
una enfermera.
Goodness sakes.
Hey, look at the dog.
Sí.
Supuestamente
Loca.
una
Look at the dog.
Supuestamente enfermera quiere que nos movamos más lejos por la gana de ella.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's the what's it called? All right, I'm gonna play this over. She brought out measuring tape. Yo, this is very interesting. Apparently, this happened, I guess, at some sort, maybe a beach or a lake or something like that. And this white woman, here we go. So apparently, this family, this Latino family, was having a fun day by the lake when they were approached by a Karen who supposedly demanded them to leave. So what do you think about that one, Bruce? So I'm reading the captions here. So here's the thing. So when they refused, when the Latino family was there first, apparently, and then this Karen told them you have to leave.
All right.
So when the Latino family refused, she started to have a complete and total meltdown, as you can hear. And I think as a troll, that's awesome troll job too by the Latino woman.
Yeah.
She's speaking in Spanish, and every time she speaks in Spanish to the phone, she has the phone out, like recording her, the Karen gets more and more enraged. If you know, it's like the squeal.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sow.
You do.
But
You do.
she gets in, and then she says, "We come to have a peaceful day." This is what the Latino says in Spanish as she's speaking. Say, "We come to have a peaceful day," and that's when she starts screaming. You know. And then she's like continuing to like record her, and it's just it's not embarrassing to them. They're making a fool of them. The Karens are making, and her family is trying to like hold her back and everything. So she says supposedly the Karen is blurring out that she's a nurse, and now she wants the Latino family to move further away. So that's what she's saying. And the Karen says, people like you are ruining it for all of us. She even goes as far as bringing out measuring tape, I guess, to measure out 6 feet of distance.
Yeah.
My point is, if they were there first, then you move.
Yeah.
I don't care if you've been there, because I know what the situation probably was. The Karen and her family probably frequents that lake a lot, and they feel privileged enough that we go to this lake all the time, and this is our spot, and nobody else is supposed to do it, even though it's a free space and anybody can sit and set up shop wherever they feel like. So this Latino family who don't know these people at all saw an open space before the Karen got there and decided to set up shop. So this Karen decides, oh, well, this is our spot. We've been going here. This has been our spot for years. Can you move? We've experienced this. We've seen it. Maybe not experienced it firsthand, but I've seen it happen. So they say no, but they feel entitled because since they've been going here a lot, that they own it. Which they don't. It's a free space. I just think it's funny. I think the Karen meltdowns are absolutely hilarious.
Oh no, it is.
And the male Karen things are funny too.
Yeah, that part, that definitely was, like I said, entirely it's hilarious because those meltdowns are, one, they're uncalled for, but two, it just makes them look crazy.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
you can't really justify like their actions behind that. It's just like, okay, what is your reason on approaching complete strangers, telling them that that's my spot?
Yeah.
You know, like just
The racism is driving them crazy.
Driving them insane.
Now, here's another one, a Karen having a meltdown in Spirit Airlines. Now, this shouldn't be, this is just typical everyday Spirit Airlines, way before Karen's was even a thought of.
Yeah.
This is just typical Spirit Airlines. But
By the way,
it's funny.
That is Latasha's favorite airline. Just going to throw that out there.
Ooh, Spirit Airlines.
Spirit Airline.
That's
Latasha's favorite airline.
That's like the $10 bus with wings.
It's a Chinatown bus with wings.
See, I didn't go that far by saying that, but I said the $10 bus with wings. Well, let's get into this. Karen having a meltdown on Spirit Airline flight.
Look at that lady's face.
Yo, she's obviously drunk or under some sort of influence, but it's still hilarious. Where do you think, hey, unqualified, where do you think she was coming from on this Spirit flight?
What do you mean, where's she coming from?
Where do you think they were coming from?
Probably Vegas. More like in Vegas, they act like that.
But is Vegas even open? No.
Probably.
Security is here. Security is here.
Don't clap.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about don't clap. I would clap, please. I'd give a standing ovation if you up there.
Exactly.
You act like an ass, you get treated like one.
Exactly.
I don't give a damn what you are. I don't give a damn if you're inebriated. You shouldn't even be like that.
Shouldn't be flying. If
See, then you got somebody to grow up. No, you act like an ass. You get no.
Tell your friend to grow up.
Yeah, no. You act like an ass. You get treated like one. That's just how it is.
How you gonna tell people to grow up
yeah,
when
she's having a
when
freaking meltdown?
she's having a meltdown?
And she's having a freaking meltdown. Please, save it.
See, that's happened. People go around and they try to justify bad behavior.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. You don't justify bad behavior. Period. Call somebody out when they, especially loved ones, especially people that you care for. Call them out whenever they do something bad, because you love them enough to try to fix it.
But I gotta love the Karens and love the male Karens. They are funny. They're keeping me entertained. They think they're being, and that's how you have to really treat it. Unfortunately, like I said, it's just that you have to, you have to make it comical in a way, to deal with it, because that's how you have to deal with them. But Karens and male Karens. But like I said, question of the week: what would be a more suitable name for a male Karen than Kevin? Please, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you guys. And by that, we will give some shout-outs.
Shout out.
Yes, so let's give a shout-out for Unique Frames. Again, you want to be fly for that. Do you even call them COVID parties? People just be out in the street now. They just make their own block parties now with 300-400 people in the street. But anyway, you still got to be fly. And guess what you need, man? You need some shades to protect yourself. So hit up Unique Frames, sunglasses, and eyewear. It is Philly-based. It's 3 to 5 business days to get your stuff. Let your vision boom with Unique Frames. All right, and you can hit this number up. We have a business number now. All right, That's what I'm talking about. Hit my sister up, 215-551-1016. Again, that's 215-551-1016. Hit my sister up, Unique Frames, or hit her up on the website, www.uniqueframes.bigcartel.com, all one word.
And while you're getting those shades, you might as well get yourself a nice T-shirt designed from my main man, Kadeem Lloyd. Catch him on Instagram at ZenithXOfficial. That is ZenithXOfficial. On Instagram, you can see some of his work. You know, got plenty of designs. He constantly coming up with new designs. Please check him out. He also has a website where you can actually buy his merchandise as well. ZenithXOfficial.com. That is ZenithXOfficial.com. Zenith X Official.
Right. Also, shout out to, we got to give a shout out to some food places. Shout out to Supreme Oasis Bakery and Deli. Carry out, no pork products, vegan friendly, and most importantly, it is black owned. They are open from Thursday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Home of the Supreme Bean Pie. Yo, those bean pies and it's fruit infused into it, oh my God. Yo, it is so good. So you can hit them up on their website, www.sobadphilly.com. Supreme Oasis Bakery and Deli, so bad that it's good. And if you need to hit them up at their physical, you know, you can actually go in there too if you want to and place an order. It's on 4401 Lancaster Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19104. But I would hit them up on their website so you can get the number, because it's always best to call in nowadays because of COVID. Call in, place your order, and that way it'll be ready when you go and pick it up.
And also, you might as well get some cookies while you're at it because, my girl Saudi, she got her own, she does her own cookies and everything, gourmet cookies at that, called The Sweet Trip. Check her out on Instagram, The Sweet Trip. You can catch all her new cookies that's on display. You can give her a shout out on Instagram itself. All you gotta do is send her a direct message, shout her out into the DM. $25 for a dozen, $15 for a mini dozen, $5 to $10 delivery fee, Philadelphia only.
All right. And also and I'm still trying to get her to get some background art. Also, if you have any background art you guys would like to show off, we'll be gladly, Absolute Zero will gladly post it up and give you guys all the cred for it, but we would like it. But I've been trying to get our sister up here to get me some background art, and that is SB Photography, one of the baddest photographers in all the land. She's the best. But you got to hit her Instagram up, Lachey_Monique Photography. That is LASHAE_MONIQUEPHOTOGRAPHY, all one word, all together. SB Photography, please, we want some of your background. We want some of your pictures that we can use for background art. Please. But her work is awesome. And also, by the way, I haven't been to this pizza spot in a while, since high school, and I went there yesterday for the first time in a long time. I'm not going to tell you how long it was, but it's been since high school. King of Pizza. King of Pizza. I love King of Pizza.
I ain't not gonna lie, yo.
And I haven't been there since high school, and it never fails. It just the same.
Yo, that was a good pizza. Yo, yeah. Good pizza spot, man. I love the crust, man. Like, oh man, that was some good pizza. You know, pizza's good when you got to keep it in place while driving home, because it's going to get jostled around, and that's what happened. It kind of got jostled around, but there's still some excellent pizza. Wasn't greasy. It wasn't greasy. It didn't have a pool of grease in the middle. Nope. Like it was.
Nope. So you got
it was
King,
perfect.
and
it was good.
No Frills, King of Pizza. If you know it, it's right there. Actually, it's few doors. Right down the street from Max's, couple doors down from the Clock Bar. Right there off Germantown and Erie. You know what I'm talking about if you know it. So don't, I know what it is. King of Pizza. Awesome stuff. Also, we got to hit up for our brother, our cousin, Creative Minds. Also, we're waiting for him to come out with some stuff. He got some stuff that's coming out, some artwork, things and stuff like that, paintings and what have you. They should be coming out real soon, but you can hit him up at Creative Minds. His Instagram, Creative Minds, that's CRE8, the number 8, CRE, the number 8, TBMNDZ, all one word. So hit up Creative Minds, Philly Design Company. Bring your vision to life. It's tattoos, logos, designs, and custom design. You can hit him up, 267 319-2033. Again, 267-319-2033. Creative Minds. He is a piece of shit too, but he does great work.
Love you, cuzzo.
And I believe that's all the shout outs that we have for the day. I think that is. I'm not sure if it is or not. I can't think of anything. Oh, also, by the way, I'm sorry. There is one more. What was the seafood place we did? The seafood place that we did. Sal's Crab Place or Crab Market. It's what was it? Oh my God!
Yeah, it's called Sal's Crab Market.
Sal's Crab Market.
I love. Look, this is my first time having them. They've been around there for a while. They've been around the corner.
Yeah,
they've been around the corner for a while though. But they're on the 61st and Lancaster, which is like right across from like the bus depot where the 10
and the 46,
where the 10 and the 46 resides. Though it used to be the produce. It used to be like the produce stand.
The produce stand. Yeah.
But they make some really good seafood. I
like their batter. The batter was good. Everything was nicely seasoned. And
I
thought it was good.
You know what? Like I said, people say that they're too expensive, or whatever.
But that's seafood.
I think
it's moderate.
I think it's moderate.
I thought the price was moderate for what it was.
The price is moderate for
and
what
it's
it
seafood.
Was. Yeah.
You're gonna pay. Seafood's always gonna be a markup.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be a markup of seafood. But I think for the quality, I think it is worth it.
It is worth it.
Because I paid a lot more for a lot worse.
Yeah.
But Sal's Crab Market, that's thumbs up.
And it is halal.
Yeah,
it's halal.
I gotta give it. I give it thumbs up. I give it thumbs up for that.
It's halal. So also put that in the recommendation.
So like with that being said, like I said, I gotta go back and I have to check and see if Big Cat Lad did anything to this because I like this.
Alex is a piece of shit. You got that Bill Cosby vibe.
Yep.
Here's the pill.
Alex is a piece of shit. Ooh, Kansas City Mac is a piece of shit. Alex is a piece of shit. Even though it's his birthday, he's a piece of shit because he knows about it. Happy birthday, cuzzo. We only do this because we love you. And if anybody else ever tries to do it, they will be handled and dealt with accordingly.
Exactly.
But with that being said, I am your king, the Shenanigator Macho King, Shenanigator J, and my tag partner,
Unqualified Gamer Weeaboo Ramen.
And we thank you for listening. Again, we have a new YouTube page that's out, so everything will be put on the YouTube page. We'll give you the link, but we thank you for listening to the coldest podcast in all of podcast land. This is Absolute Zero.